countdown is on to the winter solstice.
We have two very potent moons. December 4 is called the cold moon. It's kind of bringing in energies of like calming, which is really good because 2 years in Dragon and Snake, they're all about shadow work, transmutation, shedding the skin, going deep into our shadow aspects. And we're in the final remnants of that now. And then Fire Horse next year is all about power. Like fire is like the instigator, it's the activator, and horse represents power. So it's like it's go time next year.
A major activation point. As we prepare for the winter solstice, it's time to conserve our energy. It's time to nourish our nervous system. It's time to call back all parts of ourselves. As the sacred feminine arises, so does our remembering. I'm Sarah, a quantum healing guide, life coach, and teacher, and you're so very welcome to this episode with the lovely Lonna Davis, a vibrational sound healer, psycho-spiritual intuitive, and shadow worker, as we deep dive into all the magic that surrounds us. Hello, Lonna. You're so very welcome. I know this isn't our thing, but today is Thanksgiving. I'm so grateful for you.
Oh, I'm grateful for you. Thanksgiving. Do you have Thanksgiving over there?
No, it's the American thing, you know, with the Indians and all that we won't get into.
Well, we had that. We have ours in the first weekend of October, the second Monday of October. So we already had ours last month. So yeah, I know. I also am like, I have gratitude, which I give every day, but also I try not to give too much energy to like the actual processes and what it really means. Like in my own way, I do ceremony, but not in the very commercialized way that we celebrate it here. I don't know how the States is, but the States has Black Friday, which is like the most, like it's such a consumerist, like everything's shopping on Black Friday deals. And we've been seeing them here for 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm like, it's kind of the opposite of Thanksgiving, of giving thanks for what we already have rather than going out and shopping. But yeah, we're getting there, I guess, slow and steady.
So would the Thanksgiving in Canada be very kind of similar, or how does that go down?
I've never done an American Thanksgiving, but yeah, I think it's the same thing. I mean, we get together with family, we have turkey dinner, everybody kind of cooks. In my family, like we used to do it at the family cottage, and like there would be like baseball on the TV. So like all the men would literally sit there and watch the television while all the women were cooking. And I'm like, this kind of doesn't make any sense. And then my mom didn't really like that. She's like, well, everyone's sitting there, we're cooking and you guys are just chilling, all the kids are. So it's kind of like, I don't know, very commercialized. Like, you know, we had the same grace we gave at every meal. That was like, just like this very repetitive, like word for word, the same every year, which like wasn't very present and heartfelt personally. Like, so it's very surface from my experience, but it was really nice to get the family together and everybody kind of came together. That was nice, but we didn't really, you know, like I've tried a couple times to go through when I had it in Mexico or when I was with my friends, we would go around the table and give thanks individually and we would talk from the moment. And I felt there was a little bit more cohesiveness in that, but it's very commercialized. And I don't think actually many people here who celebrate it really understand the history of what it is, you know, in regards to the Indigenous. So I feel, I don't know, it's again, I just kind of chalk it up with like a very commercialized kind of holiday. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how has the weather been in Canada? Is it snowing like there's no tomorrow?
Yes, it is. Right now, no, it's like actually like 20 minutes ago, it was like blizzarding across the sky. But the first day we saw snow was my birthday on the 6th. And I remember waking up and being like, please, like no snow today. I looked out the window, snow on the first day. And it was exactly a month prior to that when I was in the lake swimming for the last time under the full moon. I'm like, how has it been a month? Where a month ago I was swimming under this beautiful full moon, and then now there's like a blizzard outside my window. So the weather is just, it's indicative of what's going on in the world on a whole, because everything's just chaos right now. So I think, yeah, the weather's been kind of, it's been an expression of what Earth Mother's going through right now, I think. So the transition between seasons has definitely been shorter this year, but I don't think we can really rely on anything weather-wise at this point. So yes, we are in snow. How is it over there? What do you guys get like at this time of year?
Well, it's more of like 0 degrees, snowing in the mountains, kind of blue skies and sun, but freezing down in the cities.
Really? Okay. So, but it's getting warmer now, isn't it?
No, not yet. It's actually getting colder. I think it was -1 this morning, degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
So you're like where we are. That's so interesting. I didn't realize that. Oh.
Yeah, I think we have the same seasons as you, yes, in Spain. And yeah, it's cold, crisp, rainy. We need loads of rain.
Fair. Wow. So we are in the same temperatures right now. That's just surprising. I would never, like in my mind, Spain is just warm. And like I just create that in my mind. But wow. I guess
it is warm.
What do you think?
It's warm down in the south, like Malaga and the Canaries. You can, like, it goes up to 16 or 17 degrees Celsius during the day. But then in the mountains, in the Pyrenees, just in the north of Barcelona and the north of Spain, you can go skiing. The first snow has started to fall.
Okay. I love that, though. I love when there's seasons close together. Like where you can just drive a bit and go to the beach or then go this way. Like, I like that. The plethora of choices.
Yes. And so tell us about the energetic forecast you're feeling.
Ooh, as it's ever changing. Well, right now we're in the in-between between like the 2 super moons, I guess, because our November 20th Scorpio moon was a super moon where the moon was actually the closest to the Earth at any point during this year. And we have another one coming up, a Gemini full moon on December 4th. So that's also a super moon. It's also the cold moon. So we have 2 very potent moons. We're right in the middle of this right now, and you can kind of feel the intensity. It's like, it feels like there's this bated breath right now of like what's to come. And I mean, we've had 4 volcanoes go off in the last 2 days. There's just mass amounts of just like, which is fire energy, of course, right? And I find it interesting that the December 4th it's called the cold moon. It's kind of bringing in energies of like calming, which is really good because we've just been in, this kind of shadow space. You know what? It's kind of like it's kind of a little ecosystem of like what we've been in for like 2 years, like. Because we had the year of the wood snake. Sorry, we had the year of the wood dragon last year. We're in and finalizing up the year of the wood snake. And next year we're moving into fire horse. So I can already feel, and I've spoken to a couple of friends about this, where I can feel this energy and momentum really building. But we're still kind of in the purging. Like right now we're in deep shadow. We're in deep, deep shadow. We are what I call in the in-between. So, I mean, the last 2 years in Dragon and Snake, they're all about shadow work, transmutation, shedding the skin, going deep into our shadow aspects. And we're in the final remnants of that now. And then Fire Horse next year is all about power. Like fire is like the instigator, it's the activator, and horse represents power. So it's like, it's go time next year. Like we are activating, we are no longer excavating the shadow. We are we are integrating now, but we will be moving. It's going to be movement. It's going to be fire. It's going to be execution. It's going to be action. And it's like, okay, embodiment. Like that's what's happening next year. So next year is going to be a lot of movement. It won't feel as heavy because we're pulling up all the drudge right now. We're pulling up everything that's been pushed and repressed. So the process we're in currently right now is we're in kind of like a disintegrating and simultaneously integrating space. So like right now we're fractalizing, we're in disillusion. So we are healing the emotional template, which is the shadow aspect. So what's happening is we are pulling everything up, which we've been in for a while now, but we are also accessing more of our higher aspects. So like our crystalline structure is vibrating and kind of coming online. So there's like a calibration with like solar activations and earth integrations is how I'm calling it. So when also the moon is closer to the earth, the gravitational pull is stronger. So there's like a quickening of new vibrating light that's coming in and like integrating within ourselves. So with this process, it's we're pulling up a long suppressed emotions, like, and emotions are just energy in motion. So essentially we're bringing to the surface for our deepest aspects of trauma and pain and wounds to be felt and cleared. And this process is essentially our cells are purging energies which are no longer congruent with our upgrading energy template in our physicality. So this process creates space for newer and like higher vibrating light to enter in. So really anything that's unprocessed, anything that's repressed, which would be, you know, memories, emotions, habits, abandoned aspirations, etc., are coming to the fore. They're coming up for us to be kind of examining them and then either restructuring them and integrating them into the new energy template, or we're clearing and releasing and discarding. So like these are happening kind of simultaneously at the same time. So we're in like the ultimate process of like transmutation right now. And we're in an energetic detox, which is felt emotionally and physically. So like dormant energies, dormant memories of like many, many lifetimes are arising, and galactic war memories from other incarnations, other timelines, things that are happening parallel universe. Aspects are coming online. We're just tapping into like more, which is really a big aspect of that. So this process is really attempting to create like coherence between our spirit and our body. And it's like a time of like deep emotional purges, really, which is bringing up really, really difficult things to process through, like anxiety, restlessness, deep insomnia. Like I've talked to people who are like, I really can't sleep at all. Or if they are sleeping, it's like, it feels like a very light sleep, like they could sleep all night and it feels like they just went to sleep. Like it's not like a deep sleep. Aches and pains are coming up, extreme fatigue, very vivid, extreme, sometimes very, very dark dreams are coming up. So this is like, there's a lot that's coming up that can't really be explained and understood. So it's really like, doesn't make a lot of sense, but we also have such a beautiful opportunity right now because there's emotional releases happening. There's emotional reactions happening. There's things emotionally that are coming at that don't have logic to it. So things that, and it can feel very like emotions are coming up, or memories of things that we don't understand. It can feel like we're going through these things again. It can feel like we're taken back to that moment where the trauma or the trigger is bringing us back to that space, and we're feeling it deeply. And so depending on your level of soul involvement, it can feel very real. It can feel like you're really deeply in these aspects and you're really going through this wounding and this trauma. And depending on how far you are in understanding what that looks like, it's your process of how deeply it's going to affect you. Because, you know, younger souls, I would say, can stay sitting in that and perpetuating that and not really recognizing that this is an opportunity to heal. So depending on your level of soul involvement, more evolved souls can move through it, feel through it, and then kind of step outside of that and be in the observer, be in the witness, and really just kind of let it move through, which ultimately is what's going to heal that trauma. And some of it, like a lot of it, actually can't really be processed by the rational or logic mind. It's something we try to make sense of. And then when we can't, we attach it to something in this lifetime that is kind of like in correlation to that, or would have brought up the same emotion. So there's weird things coming up that's like you're emotionally responding to something that makes no sense. You're like, why am I reacting this way? Because there's deep traumas that are related to other dimensions, times and spaces, incarnations that are coming up that are kind of being reenacted through the trauma point of this lifetime. So it's confusing. It's really heavy because a lot of people don't understand what's going on. And also, we have a lot of work being done to us in our dream time, in our dream space, by our cosmic team. Our galactic selves are deeply working on us, which is why we're barely sleeping, even if it feels like we're sleeping for 10 hours. And I also was talking to you about this before we started recording, where I'm noticing like I've kept very internal, very, very internal. And it's very much a process of like, if I'll be watching something, I'm not watching anything really, I'm not going online, I'm very much in my own timeline. And so if I'm watching something that is really kind of not time wasting, I'm interested in it, and it's generally, you know, something that would help me, but my higher self starts literally shutting my body down. Like I feel my eyes starting to droop, and I have never in my life been able to nap or sleep in the day. I'm just not that type of person. And like it'll be 1 PM and I'm just like nodding off as if like the computer is shutting down, you know, the interface is going. It's like, it's really my higher self is like, you don't need to be watching that. Like, yeah. I don't watch the news. I don't watch anything. It's just shutting me down. It's literally like, don't give energy to those things. And I find that fascinating because normally, and I don't watch anything that isn't really spiritual. I'm not one to like, I don't doom scroll. I don't sit watching. The only thing I kind of like doom scroll, which I don't even think is a doom scroll, would be like watching animal videos. Like I love just watching animals come together and helping each other and humans helping animals. Like that's all. I can get lost in those videos, but it's better than a lot of other things, I feel. So it's just like my body is shutting down to be like, you know, this doesn't compute. Like we're not taking this in. Like there's so much processing out that finding that stillness, finding that point of just like sitting with yourself and just doing absolutely nothing is probably one of the best things that I found I can do for myself. And, you know, meditate, like the 5 cores is what I keep calling it, you know, like meditation, breath work, sounding, so chanting, mantras, sounding, using my voice, whatever that looks like, movement, and then stillness. A balance of all of these things are what's keeping me just like very anchored in myself and finding, you know, the homeostasis between movement and stillness, because we need to move to get it out, but also we don't have any energy right now. Like there's no, like we're all fatigued. Everyone I'm speaking to they're like, the dreams I'm having are dark. Like I don't understand them. There's creatures after me. Like it's like, for instance, the other night I had a dream that I had like this cut in my forehead and all these just monster spiders were coming out of it, and just like it was a clearing of some sort, but it's just dark. And other people there's just things that don't make sense because your subconscious is like merging things together, and we probably don't need to know what they are, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's releasing. And I'm not fearful. I can separate it, but it's just like, that's weird. Like, why do I have this cut in my head and all these creatures are coming out of my skin? Like, it's just weird stuff. Like, how are you doing with this process? Because it's affecting everyone differently.
Yeah, I love what you just said there. We don't need to know, because I'm a type of person who kind of always needs to know, or my partner Andes is always like, Sarah, you don't have to have an answer for everything. But I'm like, but maybe it's this or maybe it's that. And sometimes we don't need to know because we actually don't have the words or the actual understanding of what's really going on, because there's so many layers to what's going on in our dream state that it's actually impossible for us on a 3D level and a human level to know what's going on. But I like that you also saw it as a clearing, because mad things happen in dreams and maybe they are clearings, you know.
I think so. I know that. I know all my higher, because also we're pulling in, like we're accessing higher dimensional spheres, which we've talked about in the last few podcasts, where more of ourselves are coming in from the higher dimensions. With that comes activations and clearings, and we have access to more now. So that, whether that be, you know, memories or like difficult things, that's also beautiful gifts. That's also access. Like our intuition is like heightened so much. Our body intuition, it's about finding the balance between, you know, like the not even the fear, just like the allowance of letting that go, but also being like, cool, I can do this now. Like there's new gifts, there's new skills, there's new access. Like our intuition, I don't know about you, but I just feel like there's a pure channel now. It's like, I don't need to intention. I just know stuff that I mean, I'm intuitive, so that's a thing, but it's just heightened.
Mm-hmm.
There's just more coming online. There's more access to things. And a part of that, if you're responsible, is healing those things. But like you said, we don't need to know. Like, we can't possibly know because, again, everything's everything's fractaled. So we have like a little piece of the puzzle, and like we can sit here all day and try and analyze it from every perspective. But really, there's a part of us that wants to know, and that's good. But then there's also that part that has to come from the higher perspective to be like, we can't know everything right now. We only have like two pieces of the puzzle. So like, let's let it unfold. Let's let it just see what happens, and let's find our way, traversing this unknown, because that's what we're doing right now. So it's a surrender.
And another thing is that sometimes we can get like these repeating dreams that came up for me. These dreams that I suppose like heartbreak dreams that were repeating over and over and over. I think it's like my higher self telling me that this needs to be dealt with. Now is the time. This is your last chance. It's not a last chance, but all of the kind of the shadow aspects are coming up to the surface. And in that case, obviously everybody's different. They can relate to their own dreams. We can deal with those ourselves in our dreams without us even knowing, but also through journaling them down to let them release. Sometimes when putting words to paper helps us actually release it energetically as well.
Fully agree with you. Yeah, journaling is huge. And I feel like when we're doing so this is the thing. I feel like breath work and meditation are like right on par, because meditation is all about quieting the mind, finding the stillness. And so is the breath, but the breath moves stuff. The breath helps you access things that are moving, our meridians and connecting into our cellular structure. It's like we're clearing that all out. And so a mix between like meditation, I feel like breathwork and meditation are just on par with importance personally. And when you need movement, and also that's why like the chanting, the singing, the sounding, and like whatever that is also a gateway into the movement, because our voice is calibrated to heal us. Yeah. Every single person has their voice calibrated to heal us and ourselves. And when we can use like the plethora of tools that we have access to, and it's not about like, oh, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. It's like, what do I feel like in the moment to do right now? What does my body need? What feels good for me? And it's just, it's a process of the mental aspects of meditation are when we need to analyze or we need to quiet. It's like thinking. And the mind right now is only one piece of the puzzle. Really what's happening right now is our body, our physicality, our physical body is unionizing with our spirit form. The mind in a lot of ways can get in the way of that because we're trying to analyze the process. It's a monkey in the middle, it's like the body's on one side and spirit's on the other. And then the mind's like trying to catch the ball when it's being thrown back and forth, where you're just like, wait, don't forget about me. And they're trying to get it. And it's just like, no, if we just find this balance between like, lobbing it over the middle part, I find it's just a beautiful, like we bypass a lot of obstacles, which we create ourselves from our mind. So we don't need to know. I feel like I'm surrendering more and more into that because I have a very like analytical mind and I like to understand different perspectives because to me, you grow that way. But what's being shown and very clearly to me is that, again, we have so many like pieces missing from the bigger picture that it's not going to make sense. The more we try to like fit these pieces that don't go together, we're creating our own narrative, our own story, which is distorted. So when we let that go, because if we do really need to know, it's going to come out in journaling, like you said, or the dreams are going to be repeating to be like, hey, pay attention to this. The same as if we have a pain in the body that keeps coming back over and over and over again. Like it's an alarm, to be like, hey, pay attention here. It's the same with the dreams. So I think it's about just knowing how you process information. That's important because we're all very different, and what feels good for you one day isn't going to feel good for you the next. And it's just allowing that process. Like I also gave up coffee mainly. I still have it once in a while. Yeah. Giving up coffee has just been like amazing. Like I feel so much clarity. Like I feel so calmer. You were so right about that. you were like, I think I've been poisoning my body. And I'm like, I still love the taste, but I've been using this dandelion kind of blend of stuff, which is really good. Dandelion and chicory, which is a really good kind of blend of like emulating coffee. It doesn't do it 100%, but I feel way better in my body. And it allows me to like calm the nervous system, you know, like just be calm and be in the stillness. When we're all jittered up, it's you can't find the stillness, and then your mind's going monkey minding all day, and you're just like, oh, like there's a lot of aspects that were just influencing me that were actually me. So that's been really good. So thanks for that push in the right direction, because I've been doing herbal infusions. Like right now I have like a Tulsi infusion in my cup, and I'm just like, so I drink it, I'm like, oh, I feel connected to earth. I feel connected to the sky. Like it's just like, it feels grounding. And I think right now we really need the grounding. So it's been really, really clearing, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually started drinking coffee again because I was so lethargic, and because I get up at like 5:30 in the morning. My classes, I start working at 7 a.m. and I need to do, my ritual before everything. Just this week, just gone, I needed a coffee for my mental sharpness. Otherwise, I was like falling asleep. So I need to get off that bandwagon again.
Maybe this will be a catalyst, because you were my catalyst before, so it's good. But also I think you're making a good point here, where you're just like moderation and balance, right? It's just like, oh, I'm back to drinking coffee and I'm drinking it all the time. It's just like, it's okay to have a coffee sometimes.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be so extreme one way or the other. It's like, I went over to my sister's the other day. She's like, I thought you weren't drinking coffee. I'm like, well, I'm driving over here to help you, So it's just like, I just did a drive-through and got a coffee. But at home on my day-to-day, I'm not having that. So and I felt cool with it. Yeah. I also realized I did it and it also wasn't a good coffee. So I'm just like, why did I do that?
But you notice it, the quality.
I'm just like, if I'm going to have a coffee, I'm going to spend a little bit more and get like a good one where I'm like, at least I'm going to enjoy it. And not go through not the cheaper place, but it's just like, I don't even like the way they make coffee. So it's just like, that's a lesson for me, but I had to go through that, I still enjoyed it for what it was, but also I realized it wasn't as satisfactory as it would have been before, because I was coming from habit, or in a vice mentality. It's just like, well, I need my coffee, and I don't even need it, because I'm not one that needs it to get started. I have a lot of natural energy. I just like the taste of it. Yeah. So dandelion is the closest representation I can find.
Interesting. What about the other teas? Do you drink any other teas to kind of, like you said before, there you were drinking one that grounds you? What other kind of teas are you into?
I have a mix of them right now. So what I'm doing is well, this is kind of half of it, but I get a big mason jar, and then I put herbs in, and then I do an infusion. So hot water, and then I leave it overnight, and then I've been mixing them up. So I'll do Tulsi. I've been doing nettle, which is really good. A lot of stuff that's just really good for calming the nerves, helping with the digestion, because I've been having digestive issues for like 8 months now, because my body's acclimatizing still. And so I'll do that. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of lavender to the Tulsi. Clove, which is a really good one. I've been doing clove with cardamom and then adding some cinnamon in. And then I'll have that as an infusion, and then I'll warm it up when I want something warm, which is really just kind of because we're getting cold. So it just feels clean. It's kind of whatever I feel in the moment, but all of them are like jammed with antioxidants, help with your nervous system, help with your just integrating things in. And I don't need to add anything. Like I don't add honey to it, which again, I've been really getting the downloads to like minimize fully sugars. So the sugars I feel are, the odd time I'll put some honey in my tea, but I've just really eliminated sugars recently. And that just feels again grounding, but also when it's not snowing out, I need to go out and put my feet on the ground. And I'm going to hope that it's snowy some days, but the grounding aspect I think is probably one of the most important. Also, my drum back there has been amazing. Music also, I have it right here, I got this native flute, which I've been trying. It's a drone flute. So it has like 2 holes in it.
Wow.
And so I'll just like sit with my flute a couple times a day, and
there's
and
nothing more grounding and like soul connecting than the sound of one of those ancient flutes.
Yeah, do you want to hear the sound? I'm not good at all, but I'll show you. It has like, so there's two sides, so I'm not good, so I'm just going to warn you. So that's one side, but it plays a drone thing, so listen, this is why I got it. I'm not good at it, it takes a lot of air. Sorry,
we can kind of hear it in the distance, but I'll try and like separate that part and blow up the sound when I put it online. But that's amazing.
Isn't it cool? And I'm like, I love it. I'm like, oh, it just grounds me into the earth. And I'll go when it's nice walking through the forest, and I'll just play it a little bit. And also, I'm trying to use my voice and music a lot more to transmute energies, because I have been getting a lot of clients coming to me, there's a lot of transmutation that needs to be happening, and a lot of it has been coming in through my voice. Like, I've been coding my voice for a couple years now, but it is like dragon light language times 1,000 coming in, like all of this stuff that's activating. And like a couple shows ago, I'm done my psychic fairs now, but a couple shows ago, I do a little tuning fork therapy, just like minor things, and I'll do tuning fork, and then I just had all this like dragon light language coming out, and people are like, I'm literally feeling you pull stuff out of my body. Like, I can feel it releasing and clearing. And I don't like, to me, I'm just fully channeling but it's the frequency, it's the codes that are coming through. And I'm just trusting it, because I don't know what's coming through. I'm just like a conduit, really, in a lot of ways. But the frequency is balancing and clearing, and a lot of darkness. It's a lot of shadow stuff, a lot of entity attachments, a lot of clearing, which is happening. And it's just kind of like clients are coming to me. There's a lot of transmutation and alchemization happening through my voice, but also music and just like the drum and the flute. And that's why I'm saying chanting and toning are so crucial to clear the density in our body, because like the last 3 weeks have just been like download after download of things to help people clear. And so, I mean, if it's coming in for me, it's coming in the collective. So we can all do this for ourselves. And it's helped a lot, to be honest. And I'll say this, because of the intensity, I will say, the shadow aspects that are coming and that I'm connecting to within people, I have never felt more protected in this incarnation. I feel so much protection from my higher aspects and my guides and my galactic family. Like, it's almost like I have this invisibility cloak, and I don't want that to sound egoic, because it's not. It just feels like, because I'm working with a lot of density, I have so many layers of protection up, which has been a really beautiful connection to, know that I'm protected, and to know that even in the chaos and the intensity of the times and the work that I do as a shadow worker, that I've never felt more protected and more aligned within that, and therefore more grounded into the physical reality, which has been an amazing journey, to be honest.
I think that's really important for people to hear, because and I'm sure a lot of people listen and think, yeah, that's great advice. We should meditate, we should do this, we should do that. But the more we do this, the more we connect to our higher selves, the more protected we feel, and the less fear there is. And the whole objective of this game is to kind of battle through fear. And I know obviously we're humans, it's okay to be afraid sometimes, but there's just so much power in what you're saying. Like, it's like you feel unshakable or unbreakable, or just an absolute overwhelming sense of love and protection.
Yes, you worded it beautifully, and it's deeply humbling. Deeply humbling within that process. And I have goosebumps talking about it now, because it just feels like the more we all are, but the more I allow myself to access my higher aspects, the more it can integrate in. And we're accessing more of ourselves, but it's pulling it into the physicality, which therefore brings more of our gifts, our skills online. And because I'm just trusting myself in this process, and I have clients right now that are heavy, like very deep seated, I'm not going to get into it, but very deep, dark aspects that are coming up to be healed from many lifetimes, Atlantean cataclysm times, like the distortions, like with the cabal and lots of things like implants, entity attachments. There's a lot happening. And I'm just like, I don't maybe know how in the moment how to heal this, but every time when I'm trusting myself fully in that moment, I'm like, oh, I understand this now. And it is deeply humbling to know that even though I'm traversing these unnerving waters, to be honest, I have never felt more connected. I've never felt more myself. I've never felt more trusting of my own self and my gifts and my abilities, because I can feel it. It's palpable that I am connected, I am protected. And that process is deeply humbling. And it's just allowed. I can also, the universe is like putting these people in my path, and I'm like, okay, and everyone's different. Everyone's story is different. Everybody needs something different. But when you can trust your intuition and trust your skills, and you can just allow spirit to work through you, like we always talk about. It's not coming from the mind. It's really, I don't even have words for it, because it makes me almost emotional, because it's such a deep access to myself, and therefore like the guidance, and just I feel like I am so protected and so surrounded by like beings who are genuinely helping me within this incarnation and the work that I'm here to do. And I want everybody to feel this feeling. I really do. And I actually have had multiple people in my life come to me and be like, I had this dream that like this was happening, and the outcome of that, it's always about me. I've had like 3 or 4 people, and they're like, I don't know what this means, but I'm being protected. Like I'm like, one was literally somebody that I know messaged me. She's like, so we were given these, she was with me. We were given these codes, and then we walked up onto this Pleiadian ship, and then we got injections into our face. She's like, and they said these injections in our face were to protect us from alien tech, like implants, essentially. And I'm like, wow, which is directly in relation to the work that I'm doing in a lot of ways. So I'm like, and these people are like, I don't know what that means. And I'm like, I do. I understand what that means. And it's just like they're coming through and showing me that I'm protected. They're telling me I'm protected, and I feel that. So I'm like, oh, I don't really connect to the Pleiadians, so I found that like pretty interesting. So, but I'm like, cool, like I believe it, and it's just like, again, this deep knowing that we are accessing more, we are connecting to more, and we are also deeply protected within that if we just follow the little seeds that have been planted.
Yeah. And guess what popped out of my mystical shaman pocket oracle deck?
What is it?
So this is a lovely little deck that I have. It's a mystical shaman pocket oracle deck. And before this, I pulled a few cards, and guess what came out? The jaguar.
Jaguar! It's one of my totem animals. Yes.
And it's like the jaguar is the protector of all life. It's in the Amazon. It's in times of fear, she brings courage and certainty. Jaguar is at the top of the food chain and never becomes prey. So she can track her mark. She can literally relish the abundance of the rainforest, fearless and at ease. So basically this just popped out. Totally aligned with what you're saying.
I love that. And the fact that you have it's black, so that would be Black Panther medicine as well, which is all about embracing the unknown. It's like traversing dream time, and also like surrendering into what's unknown and trusting deeply. It's like entering the void and knowing you'll be caught, which is pretty much what we always talk about. Also, Jaguar is like impeccability and integrity. So that's very much about like walking your walk with a high moral code and ethical compass, essentially. So very fitting for right now. And also protection, like, I don't know. There's a lot of levels to that medicine, but I love that so much.
Yes. And also it says, what in your life needs to be released? What have you carried around for far too long, which needs to be let go once and for all? Jaguar medicine is available to heal fear and allow it to let go. So everything aligned.
It's perfect. Yeah, because that's exactly what we're in right now. And I do think it's going to lighten a little bit after after we get to the full moon on the 4th.
Yes.
Because it's a cold moon. So the cold moon really, like right now we're in a heightened state of heat and energy and activation, and like we are purging, but it's like the cold moon almost brings like this soothing, this balm, this calmness to the spirit, which, because we've just been purging, clearing, and it's just like, that's hard to do. And it feels like almost like a calming before we enter into like fire horse, which is not calming at all. So it's going to be, and also I just keep feeling like rest before the solstice. Make sure you are rested before the solstice. And like, we've been talking about this. I've been feeling like this for 4 or 5 months, that there is some major something happening on the winter solstice, December 21st. And I think that right now we are very much in the preparatory space of that. We are clearing as much as we possibly can to allow in the higher frequencies to really integrate in, so we can really maximize and utilize the energies that are available to us, because we can only take as much in as we've cleared.
Yeah.
That we've made space for. So there really is this massive purge. And we have, like, even when I'm connecting to my friends or just anyone I'm around, like clients, it's like they have like twice as many beings around them as they normally do, as I've normally connected to. Like we have like huge teams right now that are genuinely working on our etheric bodies, helping us purge and integrate. Like it feels like there's this mass effort going on that is really a huge team. And I always say cosmic team, but it just feels like there's more beings present, and they're working deeply on us, which is why we feel tired, which is why we have sleep all night, or we don't sleep at all. And even when we wake up, we feel fatigued, and it's like we barely slept. It's just, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not conscious of, that are playing out. And also on the contrary of that, I'm like, the shadow world is also very, very prevalent and at play as well. Like they are influencing a lot of our astral aspects, which in our 4th dimension, where we're in dream time and where we go in our dreams. And they're superimposing a lot of dark aspects into our psyche to create fear and to instigate. So the more anchored we are in that self-knowing, like know thyself, and don't give energy to anything outside of yourself. Don't look externally. It's like really anchoring in and clearing and just being that rock for yourself, because whatever we give energy to builds. So if we're intentional about what we're spending our time, our energy on, and that's in relation to healing ourselves and keeping ourselves within balance, then we'll be golden.
Yeah. And I think exactly what you're saying, what we give our energy to builds, but also we can lose part of our energy in different little things, which kind of takes away from our wholeness.
Absolutely. Because if we give energy to things that are not congruent to where we're heading and what we're healing, it's like, it's taking away, it's depleting us. It's also creating distortion. So when we are intentional and conscious about our actions, our energies, who we're talking to, what we engage with, what we digest, meaning news or food or what we're putting in our bodies, all of that, it's so important that we are nourishing ourselves on all levels, because if we're giving energy, again, what we give energy to builds. So if we choose to sit there watching the news all day, that's creating fear and distortion and division, separation. And that's taking your power. That's taking your power away from self. And the more we give energy to healing ourselves, sitting in stillness, allowing whatever comes up to come and releasing it, it gives our nervous system time and space to calm, because there is so much going on, rather than, getting jittered up by coffee all day or watching the news or getting amplified by the fear narrative, which is playing out, or, the volcanoes going off, or the pain and the wounds that are still happening outside of ourselves. Then the more we can kind of calm our nervous system. So if there is chaos going on around us, we can interact with it in a way where we can maintain separation, but also we're not taking it into our energy field, into our body, and creating more havoc, really.
Totally. I love all of your wonderful wisdom, as always. Is there any other tips you'd like to give before we head off?
I feel like just finding the stillness. And also, we did have that disclosure video that I feel like you should maybe tell our audience about, because this is a major step in the right direction. But I think that finding the still point, go inward, that's the biggest message that I'm getting personally. And that's also coming through other people's guides, that it's like, be in the present moment, be in the now moment. And because everything prior to this is no longer. And so really that process is just alchemizing and transmuting and letting go what needs to be, but like sitting there in the present moment and finding the stillness, finding that space where you feel calm, getting in nature, all the things we talk about, hydrating a lot as well too, because we are healing a lot and we're clearing a lot. So clean water, being in nature, sounding, chanting, singing, breath work is really important. Meditation, anything that brings you into softness, that brings you into flow, that brings you into connection with thyself. Because if you're around chaos, if you're around chaotic people, if you're around chaotic environments, you are taking that in. And the more practice you are in holding your own energy, the more that doesn't affect you, even if you're amongst it, because we live in the world, we're part of the world, and we're not trying to separate too much where we can't live our lives. But taking those moments of meditation, taking those moments of just breathing and connecting into the now moment, connecting to the 0 point, connecting to your heart space, and allowing yourself to just feel what it is that you're feeling, without judgment, without shaming, and just letting it go. And like, it's like a cloud coming in and out, like let it come in and just release it. We don't have to attach to understanding it. We don't have to attach the emotion of it. And the process, like, we are feeling a lot more that's coming in that is trauma from other timelines. And so we don't have all the information of that. So when we can recognize that, allow it and surrender to that and be the witness to it, then we're not holding it anymore. And it's creating more space for the light to come in, where it's just kind of like this in and out process, like in one ear, out the other. It's like, okay, it's just an allowance. And I think that finding the stillness is like that main thing that I would say, because we have a beautiful opportunity right now to really anchor in higher frequencies, which will continue to keep coming. It's just how much is our vessel open to, how much have we cleared to allow the space in for that. So I would say find the stillness, find the practices that bring that stillness to you, that calm your nervous system. And fasting is a big thing too right now. Like I'm having one meal a day. Like I'm not even eating till like 5 p.m. at night, and I'm just having a lot of teas or like a little stuff, maybe nuts here and there, but having one meal a day and like letting go of the old habits, the old ways of being. And we are becoming lighter beings. We are activating crystalline aspects of self, and light is nourishing within itself, because, the higher density beings don't need to eat. So when we think about it that way, putting dense foods in our body, also putting dead things in our body, has an energy to it. So, connecting with your body and asking what it needs on a daily, because what it needed yesterday is different than today. So really just connecting into the now moment, I think, is probably the most important thing right now that I would say.
And what's coming to my mind as well? Just observation, like what you just said before, without any judgment. Because I feel that the old kind of self-critic needs to go.
Yes. That's the chattery mind that we keep talking about, that monkey mind of being like, but what about this? And what does this mean? And it's just, we create our own stories, our own narratives. And that's the trauma, not the actual event. We just create more trauma. So like, it's almost like we need to have this detachment to it, where it's like, it's not numbing out, because then you're just like avoiding and bypassing, but it's also like, I see you.
Yeah.
And I really, I see you, and it's just like, I don't have to have a reaction to it. The reaction is telling you that there's still something there to heal. But when we're in that reactive moment, it amplifies everything that we're feeling. So, and if we do have emotional reactions, which is going to happen, just allow it to be what it was. Forgive yourself. If you need apologies you need to make to other people, that's okay. But the more you do that, then the less you react. Like, I find I'm just very even keel now. Like, I don't have a lot of reaction to really intense things, and it can almost come across unfeeling. where you're a little bit cold and a little bit detached, but it's just, I'm not choosing to align to that frequency. I'm not choosing to engage with that. And that's your narrative. And I honor that if that's where you are, but it's not mine.
You're like in stoic mode.
Yeah, yes. And, I watched this whole series on Buddha years and years ago. And I remember like he was born into a royal family, and he was active and present and super kind always. And then when he went on his pilgrimage journey by himself, and he became enlightened, and then he came back, and he was very detached, and I didn't understand it at the time. I'm like, but you're treating your mother as you're treating everyone else. I'm like, where's the warmth? Where is, that connection? But I actually fully get it now, because it's this detachment where it's almost like you're just like this. It's very middle road, and it's not these roller coasters of high extremes and lows. It's just like you're just very even keel, and I fully get it now. And I didn't understand at the time. I'm like, well, I would have preferred you before when you were just like emoting and feeling, because he was still kind. But now I fully get it, where it's like it is this stoicism, but it's also coming from a higher aspect of self, where like you love so deeply and love unconditionally, and you just walk that all the time in all ways. So it's very freeing, to be honest.
Yeah. And I think if we do take a moment and sit back and observe how we react as a collective, all of us, we can notice that we are leaving behind the old paradigm. We can in each other. Even if we still have a little bit of self-critic in our minds, it's diminishing.
I agree. And that's directly because we're coming from a higher perspective. We're integrating that in, and we recognize also, I think we also have more ability to self-correct in the moment. Yeah. Rather than having this whole tantrum or some outburst, and then like being in it for so long, needing to take space, and then ruminating about it in your mind and being like, oh, I could have done this is different. It's like we're aware, because we can step outside, come from our higher self, and like as we're in the trigger moment. So we can stop it in the trigger moment, therefore healing everything that came before it and not moving it forward in the timeline. So next time we may react a little bit, but lesser than, and each time until the point where we're not reacting anymore. Like, I think when we can self-correct in that moment, that is so potent. It is so powerful for healing. And I'm seeing that off like a lot with everyone, to be honest.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Lonna.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. And also tell people to check, what is that thing called again? The video?
I forgot it for the second time. You just reminded me and I forgot. So we watched The Age of Disclosure 2025 is a documentary that has just been released literally, I think, on the 21st of November. I've literally watched it twice already. And it's just about disclosing first contact, and the fact that there have been lots of, I suppose, extraterrestrial investigations and reverse engineering for the last 80 years, and it's been hidden. So watch as an observer and just feel any emotions coming up, and just watch it all. Let us know how you feel in the comments after watching it.
Yes, I love that too. Yeah, a lot of you will already know some of this stuff, and there's a lot of, but this is mainstream. Like you said, it was on Amazon Prime, right? So like, this is like government officials. This is people talking about, like, we've known about this for a long time, and anybody who has tried to express it has been shut down, threatened. A lot of people have been killed, but we're not going to go into that right now. And also, this is a big, major step towards disclosure. So let us know what you think in the comments. It would be great to hear the perspective. We definitely have our own perspective on it, but this is definitely a step in the right direction for really just the government kind of exposing what's been happening for quite some time now. So
there is a little sense of fear throughout the documentary, but if you hold on till the end, there is a brighter note at the end. I won't give any spoilers, but hold on in there. Don't turn it off because of fear. And if there is any fear coming up, just acknowledge it. Just integrate it and see what it wants to say.
Yes, exactly. And also I think a lot of our viewers will recognize the difference between our community of people and how we have the perspective of something, and also how government officials are coming from still that war narrative and the defensive narrative. And and fear, creating fear by being like, oh, these, UFOs that are coming through, they pose a threat or they're a problem, or, rather than recognizing that, I mean, this is stuff that a lot of us have known for a long time, but this is mainstream, and I think it's time. I think it's long overdue. And I really encourage everybody to kind of connect with that. And like Sarah said, just see what comes up for you and feel into that. And what is your truth within that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring on the star, friends.
Yes, please. We're ready.
Well, I hope you have a lovely next 2 weeks, and I can't wait to see you again.